In 2021, a token called Squid Game appeared online, named after the Netflix show. In a matter of days, its price rose by more than 23 million%. Then it went to zero. Not because the market turned, because the people who built it had written code that stopped everyone else from selling. They walked away with around $3.3 million. That is a rug pull, and it is the single most common way ordinary people lose money in crypto. In the next few minutes, you will learn exactly what a rug pull is, the 7 patterns scammers use, the 4 warning signs that show up in almost every one of them, and a checklist you can run in 5 minutes before you ever spend a cent. One note before we start. This is educational content, not financial advice. I am not recommending any token, project, or investment. The goal is to help you recognize the patterns so you can protect yourself. You do not need any technical background for this. If you have never touched crypto in your life, you are exactly who this is for. So, what is a rug pull? Someone creates a crypto token, or an NFT, or a project that calls itself DeFi, gets enough people excited to buy it, and then disappears with the money. You are left holding something that is suddenly worth nothing. The name comes from pulling the rug out from under someone. One moment, you are standing on solid ground. The next, the floor is gone and you are falling. Here's the analogy I like. A food truck opens on a busy street. Great burgers, great price. Hundreds of people line up and pay in advance. On the third day, the truck drives away overnight with all the cash. The burgers never existed. In crypto, the same thing happens at internet speed. A token can be created in minutes, hyped on social media, and drained of value within hours. And the scale is not small. In 2021 alone, rug pulls stole an estimated $2.8 billion, according to the blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis. In 2024, crypto scam addresses received at least $9.9 billion on-chain, and that is a conservative lower bound. The number keeps growing as more addresses get identified. That scale is the reason this lesson exists. Before the 7 patterns, you need one distinction. Every rug pull belongs to one of 2 families. The first is a hard rug pull. The developers change the rules of the game through code so that only they can take money out and you cannot. The Squid Game token is the textbook case. Buyers literally could not sell. The second is a soft rug pull. Here the contract is honest. It lets you trade. The team simply dumps their own enormous pile of tokens on the market at once, and the price collapses on its own. The difference matters because they feel completely different when it happens to you. In a hard rug, the token stops working. In a soft rug, the token works perfectly. It is just worthless. Pattern 1. The liquidity drain. This is what most people picture when they hear rug pull. The team creates a token and pairs it with real money, Ethereum, or a stablecoin like USDC, in what is called a liquidity pool. That pool is what lets anyone trade. Then, in a single transaction, they withdraw all of the real money. The price collapses to nothing instantly because there is nothing left to buy it with. AnubisDAO in October 2021 is the clean example. The project raised around 13,500 Ethereum, roughly $60 million at the time. Within about 20 hours, the entire pool was moved to an unknown wallet. No hack, no bug in the code. The liquidity simply left. Pattern 2. The Honeypot, also called a sell restriction. The contract is secretly written so that you can buy, but you can never sell. And here is what makes it so effective. The chart looks beautiful. The price climbs. On paper, you are making money, and you feel clever. The moment you try to take that money out, the transaction fails. Squid Game again. People watched the price rise by 23 million%. They believed they were rich. Not one ordinary buyer could sell a single token. Pattern 3. Unlimited minting. The contract lets the team create brand new tokens out of thin air, whenever they want. They wait until plenty of people have bought in. Then they mint millions of new tokens and sell them all. The supply explodes, the price collapses, and the cruel part is that holders usually have no idea new tokens were ever created until the damage is done. Pattern 4. The pump and dump. No clever code at all. The team buys a huge share early, promotes the token hard, and once enough people have bought in at higher prices, they sell everything into the buying frenzy. The price crashes. This is the most common form of soft rug pull. The The Hawk meme coin in December 2024 went from a market cap near $490 million to losing over 90% within hours. On-chain data showed only 3 to 4% of the supply was ever available to the public. A handful of insider wallets held the rest. But the biggest case came in February 2025. A token called LIBRA was promoted on social media by the president of Argentina. The market cap shot past $4.4 billion within hours, and then collapsed. Around 74,000 traders lost roughly $286 million. One key figure alone pulled about $100 million of liquidity back out. And here's the part worth sitting with. That endorsement was real. It was not a faked screenshot. A sitting head of state actually posted it. So take the lesson. An endorsement, even a genuine one, even from the most powerful person in a country, tells you nothing about whether a token is safe. Pattern 5. Fake endorsements. And when the endorsement is not even real, it gets worse. Projects display logos or screenshots of celebrities, influencers, or major companies backing them. Most of it is invented. In the Bored Bunny case in January 2022, the project claimed endorsements from Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul, and David Dobrik. A blockchain investigator later showed that those celebrity-owned NFTs had actually been bought by the developer's own wallet. They raised around 2,000 Ethereum. Pattern 6. Renounced ownership with a hidden backdoor. This one is genuinely sneaky. The developers publicly renounce ownership of the contract. Officially, that means they can no longer change it, and it sounds like exactly the safety guarantee you were looking for. The trick is that the backdoor was already written in before they renounced, a function that changes the rules later, or a hidden wallet that was quietly given an enormous share of tokens before launch. Renouncing ownership does not remove what is already built in. It only stops them adding something new. Pattern 7. The slow drain, or abandonment. There is no dramatic exit here. The team collects funds, pays out a few early users so the project looks real, and then quietly stops building. They stop responding. The project fades. BitConnect is worth mentioning here because it is often filed under the wrong heading. It promised guaranteed daily returns for years, then shut down overnight in January 2018, and the coin lost more than 90% almost immediately. But notice what it was not. There was no liquidity pool to drain. It was an old-fashioned Ponzi scheme wearing a crypto costume. The largest case in history is OneCoin. It ran from 2014 as a global pyramid scheme, and it never had a real blockchain at all. The currency simply did not exist. It took over $4 billion from people across dozens of countries. Its founder, Ruja Ignatova, disappeared in 2017. She is still on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, with a $5 million reward. She has never been found. Those are the 7 patterns, and in the real world they overlap. A single project might run a honeypot, fake endorsements, and a slow drain all at once. If you remember nothing else from this lesson, remember these 4 warning signs. Almost every rug pull shows at least 2 of them. Red flag 1, an anonymous team. You cannot find out who the developers are. No real names, no history, no track record. This is the single biggest warning sign there is. Projects genuinely trying to build something long-term almost always have a public team. Red flag 2, liquidity that is not locked. Locked liquidity means the money sits in a smart contract and cannot be removed for a set period. If instead the team holds that wallet and can empty it whenever they like, you are one transaction away from losing everything. Red flag 3, unrealistic promises, 10x in 24 hours, guaranteed returns. You will be rich next week. Legitimate projects do not promise returns, ever. Anyone who does is either lying or selling you something dangerous. Red flag 4, hype with nothing behind it. Thousands of followers in hours. Paid influencers all posting the same thing at the same time. A roadmap that is just slogans and emojis. No working product, no code, no audit, no clear use case. If you see 2 of these 4 together, the smart move is simply to walk away. Now the practical part. 4 checks, about 5 minutes, and you do not need to be a programmer. Free tools do the work. Check 1, run the contract through a scanner. Paste the contract address into a tool like Token Sniffer or .fi scanner. It automatically looks for unlimited minting, hidden owner functions, and sell restrictions. If it comes back high risk or honeypot detected, you are done. Stop there. Check 2. Look at who holds the token. Paste the same address into a blockchain explorer. Etherscan for Ethereum, BSC scan for BNB chain, Solscan for Solana. And look at the top holders. Here's the rule of thumb. If a single wallet holds more than 20% of the supply, or the top 10 together hold more than half, be very careful. Concentrated supply is a disaster waiting to happen, because they can all sell at once. Check 3. Verify the liquidity lock. Tools like UNCX or Team.Finance show you whether liquidity is locked and for how long. Several months is reasonable. Years is better. No lock at all, and you should treat it as a hard rug waiting to happen. Check 4. The test sell. And this one needs care, because it is widely misunderstood. Buy a tiny amount, $5 or $10, then immediately try to sell it. If the sell fails, you have found a honeypot and saved yourself. Treat the few dollars as tuition. But be very careful with the opposite conclusion. A sell that works does not prove the token is safe. Sophisticated honeypots deliberately let small amounts through, or allow the first few sells to succeed, precisely to build your confidence before the trap closes. On some chains, the transaction fees will cost you more than the test itself. So, a failed sell is a red light. A successful sell is not a green light. Let's test that. Here's a project page. Take 5 seconds and count the warning signs you can find. Have a look. Here they are. The promise is a guaranteed 1000x by December. No honest project ever promises a return. 40,000 holders, but nothing you can actually use. Hype with nothing behind it. The team has 3 anonymous nicknames. Not one real person you could hold responsible. And a roadmap whose milestones are Moon and Mars. That is not a plan. That is a slogan. 4 signals, and every single one was visible before spending a cent. If you found 2 of them, you are already reading these pages better than most people ever will. Now let me name the 5 mistakes that catch beginners, because knowing the patterns is not the same as being immune to them. Mistake 1. The chart is going up, so it must be safe. Charts can be manufactured. When the team buys from itself, it is called wash trading. It produces real-looking volume out of nothing. A green candle is not evidence of anything. Mistake 2. I will be early. I will get out in time. Almost nobody does. The team decides when the rug happens, and they do not announce it. By the time you see the crash on your screen, they have already converted everything to real money and moved it. Mistake 3. I only put in a small amount, so it does not matter. It does. The same people run dozens of these a year, and those small amounts add up to billions across millions of victims. The small amount is also how they hook you. It is rarely the last one. Mistake 4. The contract was audited. Audits help, but they are not a guarantee. An audit looks at the code at one moment in time. Code can be changed afterwards, and a perfectly clean contract can still be run by dishonest people. The code being honest says nothing about the team. Mistake 5. Celebrities are promoting it, so it must be real. Endorsements are bought, faked, or simply paid influencer deals. Hawk had a famous internet personality behind it, and it still crashed more than 90%. A tweet costs far less than your money. So here is the checklist. Run it every single time, especially for anything new or small. 10 questions. 1. Who is the team? Publicly known with a track record or anonymous? 2. Is the liquidity locked? For how long and through which platform? 3. Is the contract clean? Did it pass a scan? Any mint or blacklist functions? 4. How is the supply distributed? Top holders under 20% each? Top 10 under half? 5. Has it been audited? By whom and how recently? 6. What is the actual use case? Can you say in one sentence what problem it solves? 7. Is the promise realistic? Guaranteed or 10x in a week means no. 8. Can you sell a test amount? And remember, a successful sell is not proof of safety. 9. Where is the community? Real discussion or bot chatter? 10. What is the worst case? If this goes to 0 tomorrow, are you genuinely fine with that loss? If you cannot honestly answer yes to at least 7 of those 10, your money is not safe there. And if it has already happened to you, first, do not be ashamed. These scams are engineered to fool intelligent people. BitConnect fooled thousands. Squid Game fooled thousands. OneCoin fooled millions across dozens of countries. Here's what to actually do. Stop sending money to anyone offering to recover your funds. Recovery services and support agents who contact you out of nowhere are almost always a second scam layered on top of the first. This catches a lot of people at their lowest moment. Document everything: the contract address, the wallets, the transactions, screenshots of the project. Report it. In the United States, that is IC3.gov, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. In the United Kingdom, Action Fraud. In the EU, your National Cybercrime Authority, more reports genuinely raise the chance of an investigation. Look at the tax angle. In many countries, a loss like this can be claimed as a capital loss and offset against other gains. Speak to a tax professional. And warn people. The contract address is public on the blockchain anyway. Sharing it might save the next person. If you take one sentence away from all of this, make it this one. If you cannot explain what problem a token solves, who the people behind it are, and where your money actually goes, do not buy it. That single habit will protect you from most rug pulls you will ever encounter. Everything we covered today, the 7 patterns, the 4 red flags, the 5-minute check, and the 10-point checklist, all of it comes back to that one question. Do you actually understand where your money is going? One last thing. Everything we covered you can check yourself, and the tools are free. A scanner like Token Sniffer or Do.fi tells you whether the contract itself is dangerous. A block explorer like Etherscan, BSC Scan, or SolScan shows you who really holds the token. And a locker like UNCX or Team.finance tells you whether the liquidity is genuinely locked or only claimed to be. Knowing these exist is one thing. Reading them properly is another. And that is exactly what the next lesson covers, step by step on the real screens. Thanks for watching. Stay careful out there.